All right, hello and welcome everybody watching right now or later on sometime to the best, absolutely best place for live Magic the Gathering Dino content or just general Dino content. Tonight's list: angry, always angry, raging. I'm not raging, I'm always having a good time. Always getting to play dinos, but I feel the inclusion of extra sweepers, not just Anger of the Gods. That's certainly my favorite sweeper to deal with all those aggressive decks. Some of the mid-range stuff, which we'll go over before we jump into the matches. Likely we're going to face it tonight. But yes, always angry. Anger of the Gods. I think that should always be in the list. 100%. Never want to get caught out, but especially with the usual main suspects right now, plus the addition of Storm's Wrath. So we're packing a full 8 sweepers. Storm's Wrath, specifically against Rakdos Midrange, I think is quite fantastic. Dealing 4 damage, it does take out the Glory Bringers, awful, nasty flying dragons. But then it also hits Planeswalkers, so pretty good chance it would also take out Chandra. Whatchamacallit? Where is she? Right about here. Yes. Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Classic, fantastic, all-star in many decks, but especially Rakdos. It's nice to take that out, as well as all their creatures. And then, of course, the Glory Bringer. Do I not even have a single copy? My goodness. Glorybringer, for anybody that doesn't know, nasty stuff, especially when they make copies of this, but a lot of our dinos are 4 toughness or less, unfortunately. Man, this is a scary thing when it drops 5 for 4/4 flying haste. You may exert it as it attacks. When you do, it deals 4 damage to target non-dragon creature an opponent controls. Maybe I should be mixing in dinos and dragons. I would start to be able to dodge this card because it is a menace, to say the least. But when they tap and copy it with Kiki-Jiki, reflection of Kiki-Jiki. When they tap and copy it with reflection of Kiki-Jiki here, 1, create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. They're going to attack with it. They're going to exert it. It's going to die anyways. Not a problem, so you might as well exert it. And it's problematic, to say the least. Anger of the Gods already takes out reflection of Kiki-Jiki, but just in case they've dropped the Glory Bringer or something else that happens to have that 4 toughness or more, but usually I think it's just 4 toughness, the Storm's Wrath is going to help out big time. Possibly against Azorius control, something like that. We might be able to take out Teferi, plus the Wandering Emperor, perhaps some of those little samurais that the Wandering Emperor makes. Oh, gotta click white. Yes. That can get out of hand, especially when they start making multiples and you just don't have any sweeper. Usually whenever the Wandering Emperor comes down, you know, I probably attacked with a Shifting Ceratops, maybe a Ripjaw Raptor, something like that. Possibly a Regisaur Alpha, but likely Ghalta. So she's coming down, -2. Not sitting at much, but still, you know, the following turn, if it does make sense to use Storm's Wrath, it's going to be fantastic taking her out as well as Teferi. Whew, it was fantastic today. I actually faced Azorius control and I beat him in 2, I think it was, which is very odd against control. But the game plan, as it has been for the past couple weeks now, I think. We still got the 3 amigos plus Thunderherd Migration. Now with all the control, mid-range, my highlight of importance on the sweepers here, I still want to start off game 1 with a super focused, linear game plan. Just slam the guys, just in case it's something that doesn't interact too much, or maybe they don't have their interaction. We'll just do the best possible thing that I think Dinos could do and slam a bunch of good guys. Carnage Tyrant, we got 4 copies back in. I don't think I ever should have cut this thing. With all that fantastic targeted removal, we dropped this and whew. Plus, it's also nice having something else that would survive, you know, Anger of the Gods, Storm's Wrath, that sort of thing. And in between, sandwiched, I brought in Heroic Intervention tonight just to give a further edge against those sweepers from Azorius Control, Esper, but also to possibly win trades. Double blocking to kill something, they're indestructible, so we don't lose our creatures. The hexproof, I think it's going to be pretty good, definitely. I have so many creatures, I think it definitely makes sense to slap something in that could be quite valuable, especially since there's a pretty good chance I'll have, you know, 3 to 4 on the board if and when I do cast Heroic Intervention. Maybe if I had a little less creatures in here, there's probably a lower chance that I'd be seeing 3, 4 on the board at once. Heroic Intervention might not be so good, but since I'm relying basically on all creatures, that's a lot. That's a lot of creatures. I think Heroic Intervention is going to be a fantastic addition. And then finishing off with Domri, as always, I love him. I've started off with Domri in the main board previously, but I wanted to have him in there somewhere. So I slapped him in the sideboard, and yes, I'm not running Rampaging Ferocidon. Hopefully we don't get caught out with something life gain related. It's always nice to shut them down, but previously it seems like it didn't matter against something like Celestia Angels. They usually have an answer for Rampaging Ferocidon anyways, and then they just recover on a following turn and go off getting tons of life. Being out of range, unfortunately. It's not a good day, but again, hopefully we don't get caught out. And I just realized, my goodness, I forgot Lair of the Hydra. I don't do it every night, but yeah, let's switch that up real quick. 1 second here. All right, good to go. Always angry. I'm not. Always happy to play this deck, but you know the game plan. Let's get into the games and smoke them. Bring the pain to some of those aggro decks, definitely tonight. I'm excited. Super Sweepers. I was thinking of calling tonight's list Super Sweeper, but I like Always Angry. Just because it's such a contrast. I'm never angry. I like it. Got my cold coffee, black Howling Wolf from Muskoka Roastery Coffee Company. The best coffee in the world. Oh, where they found an opponent. Oh boy. They must really not like this opponent. They're just handing it to us on a silver platter, hopefully. Eventually. There we go. There we go. See Vinicius. Vinicius. Ooh, huh? You know, we're still going to make that work. We got the 2 Forest Thunderherd. Hopefully it's a Source of Red, turn 2, that we draw, but, you know, at the very least, Thunderherd's going to get it. Oh, hey, well, you know what? I expect that there is a Fatal Push in the midst. I see a Source of Black there. I'm going to play it safe. Unlock the potential of either shifting... hey, Rakdos Midrange. I talked about it, and here it is. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Good stuff, yeah. Definitely it can be, well, sometimes a little discouraging with Dinos, for sure. Sometimes you just get lots of strings of losses. Certainly I get them. Oftentimes there's nothing really that you can do. We'll see right here if they do a Fatal Push, but... hey, Fatal Push, Stomp, you know. That's how it goes. Yes. Good luck indeed. Ooh. Let's try for the Marauding. Unlock possibly the potential of Regisaur Alpha next turn. Hope they don't got the Fatal Push. Usually they do, but yeah, you know, it happens. Dinosaurs are an absolutely a fair deck for sure, I would say. Ooh, they really hate Marauding Raptor. My goodness. Yeah, dinosaurs being a fair deck, you do have the possibility of really getting worked over, unfortunately. It is rough. It is rough indeed some days. Like I mentioned, nothing you can do. Hopefully they don't got a Fatal Push in hand. Sacrificing the blood token. Thoughtseize. Ooh. We knew we'd be seeing Thoughtseize here tonight at some point. I'm excited for Storm's Wrath. Like I mentioned, taking out Chandra, Torch of Defiance here, plus all those creatures. I'll probably cut Otepec Huntmaster and Marauding Raptor, but they really hated that Carnage Tyrant. My goodness. Luckily we have 4 copies of Carnage Tyrant. It's pretty nice, and it's telling to see what they discard. It's going to be good. I'm definitely keeping Carnage Tyrant in for game 2, that's for sure. Hey, you know, Rakdos Midrange, they got all kinds of that fantastic removal, hand hate, all that stuff. Unfortunately, not that 5th land. I was hoping for Regisaur Alpha that turn. Pretty low hopes of Marauding Raptor surviving this turn. Yes, yes, definitely. Enough wild cards. Increasing the consistency is a big thing. Even if maybe you don't start winning quite as much, just at least seeing yourself be more consistent with a deck, definitely. 2 Stomping Ground, good stuff, absolutely. I would say Stomping Ground, 100%. One of the first things I would probably craft, for sure. Gonna take the damage. Probably lost this one, unfortunately, but yes, definitely. You may not, you probably don't have to go Storm's Wrath. I just have had it in the past. I've been playing for so long, I've had enough wild cards that I could craft something like Storm's Wrath, but yes, definitely. Like you mentioned, you've probably seen enough instances where Storm's Wrath at the very least would be quite helpful, especially nice, of course, when you're pinging Ripjaw Raptor with the Enrage, Shifting, Topiary Stomper, especially. You know, it's at 4 toughness, Anger of the Gods, don't gotta worry about it. But we know the plan. Cut the Huntmaster, Drover, yep. Bring in Anger, Storm's Wrath. I will leave Domri out. But like I mentioned at the start tonight, the sweepers, when we do face Rakdos Midrange, which is it's kind of nice in a way, starting off facing it. We're going to bring the pain though. Yeah, we'll keep it. Crossing my fingers for that 3rd land. Again, it is on 20 lands. I've still been liking that. We got plenty of stuff to cast for 2. Topiary Stomper to get another basic land. 20, I know. Still very crazy for most people, but it has been doing the trick. I still get flooded sometimes with 20 lands. Again, happens to everybody. Hopefully we can get the win without them going Thoughtseize and seeing the potential of... well, we'll try for Marauding. He lives. Okay, so they don't have a Fatal Push, it seems. I've never seen that before. Oh, we got the 3rd land. Yes, definitely. Oh, this is just getting infinitely better. I'm actually going to pressure with Marauding Raptor just because there's a good chance it would die next turn anyways. Might as well. Could see Ripjaw kicking the can, eating some removal, but they got no creatures to kill, of course, so we'll go Topiary Stomper. Ramp even better, and I'm pretty excited here, that's for sure. Again, I'm quite fortunate that they haven't gone Thoughtseize yet, seeing all this painful stuff in hand. Double Anger, Storm's Wrath. Ooh. I hope they dump at least 2 creatures next turn. Even if they dump 1 creature, I'll probably just go Anger of the Gods anyways, because I have a second one. Plus Storm's Wrath there. They have to do something though, at some point. Potentially could have grabbed another red source just because, you know, Anger of the Gods costs 2 red, Storm's Wrath costs 2 red. And that's another thing with consistency that you mentioned in lands. Bringing in something like Anger of the Gods or Storm's Wrath can really kind of mess turns up sometimes, especially if you have too many forests. Double red, sometimes that is rough, to say the least. So definitely when you get those dual lands going, it's a good time. Certainly grabbing a mountain here. I would see them dumping some creatures, you would think. Yeah, mana base might take a little tweaking when you start adding stuff like Anger. Double green is, at least for me, just absolutely one of the most important things I find. Ghalta, double green, Shifting Ceratops, Ripjaw Raptor, Carnage Tyrant. Double green, very, very important. But, oh, yeah, Storm's Wrath. What am I thinking? Bam, smoke them. We take out Chandra, Sorin. We drop Marauding. That's the kind of play I was hoping to showcase with Storm's Wrath. Luckily, we still had the 2, but they looked at Marauding. I think he's going to kick the can, unfortunately. Oh, he does not. Well, well, well. I'm not attacking. They got Hive of the Eye Tyrant there. They could have made it a creature. And yes, yes. Bam, you saw it. They have all kinds of removal. Nothing new here, but like you mentioned, wanting to craft Anger of the Gods, you saw the potential of Storm's Wrath. Often this Rakdos Midrange especially, they've got a bunch of planeswalkers, not just Sorin, the Mirthless, and Chandra. They have Obnixilis, or Obnoxious, Obnixilis, whatever his name is. They have a decent amount of planeswalkers as well, so Storm's Wrath also can provide some pretty good value. Hopefully Marauding sticks around at least till next turn. Would be nice to drop Ghalta at some point, or maybe draw Carnage Tyrant coming up next turn. That would be quite helpful. Seems like they're getting kind of desperate. Oh, they returned the Chandra. Okay. That's alright. Hey, I mean, Storm's Wrath, it goes back to Theros Beyond Death. That's what I try to highlight. Maybe some new stuff you guys have never heard of. So I'm always happy to help and at least showcase stuff. You don't have to sink wild cards into it until, you know, maybe you see it here. You're like, ooh, hey, that's pretty good. Pretty good again. Painful. I think they'll probably make Den of the Bugbear or Hive of the Eye Tyrant a creature and get a little bit more aggression. Like I mentioned, unfortunately Storm's Wrath and Anger of the Gods both are sorcery speed. Hey, you know, that Dinosaur Stomp, Savage Stomp, absolutely, it is quite fantastic, costing just a single green, because usually we'll always have a Dino, but yeah, I like Savage Stomp, and yes, especially Inscription of Abundance for the instant speed potential interaction from it. Man, if Anger of the Gods only was a sweeper. Ooh, okay, we knew we'd see Thoughtseize at some point. They're going to be probably shedding some tears. Hoping we draw something other than a sweeper. Definitely Carnage Tyrant, I think, would certainly help to lock things up. We're getting kind of low. Definitely we'll go Anger of the Gods next turn at least. Oh, Lair of the Hydra. That's not so good. But we could play Lair of the Hydra, or make Lair of the Hydra nice and big coming up here to potentially block that Den of the Bugbear. Next turn. Next turn. Oh yes, absolutely. Inscription of Abundance on Ghalta, 14 life with the 2 counters. Plus you get a fight. You're taking out anything, really. I mean, 14 power should take out anything, I would imagine. And it's a lot of life. It's a good time, for sure. Oh, down to 3. We gotta do something quick. Well, just a bunch of stuff. Well, we can make Lair of the Hydra. No, we can't win. Unfortunately. They go Hive of the Eye Tyrant. It has Menace. Yeah, that's how it goes. You bring in a lot of a certain kind of card, and you just draw them all when you don't quite need to. Definitely that the Carnage Tyrant. That would have been pretty sweet. At least 2 bodies, potentially to block Hive of the Eye Tyrant if they had made it a creature. But hey, you know, that's how it goes. You at least saw the potential of Storm's Wrath there. I think probably starting off with Anger of the Gods would be safe, especially since when creatures are dealt damage, they're exiled instead of going to the graveyard. So it does get around some death triggers, because technically the creature doesn't die. It doesn't actually go to the graveyard. It goes straight to exile. So you do gain a little bit more potential benefit there. Well, that's not going to do it. 1 land. Lots of 2 drops. If I was on the draw, I might potentially risk it. Oh, much better. Wow. That's good. Yeah, we'll send him out into the bottom. Oh, we got a Izzet or Grixis, perhaps? Something like that. Yeah, let's try for Marauding. I haven't seen black yet, so I don't have to worry about Fatal Push. Of course, we could possibly worry about Strangle. That'll likely be confirmed this coming turn. My bet is seeing a Strangle, deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, sorcery speed for a single red. Fire Prophecy as well. That tends to do the trick. Good old Thunderherd. Now potentially I could have gone Thunderherd turn 2, opening up the possibility of Marauding Raptor plus Drover the Mighty. But you see, Fire Prophecy is instant speed. If I had gone Marauding Raptor plus Drover the Mighty, and then they killed... kind of want Shifting. Yeah, let's go Shifting. If they had killed Marauding Raptor while it had pinged Drover the Mighty, Marauding being the only dinosaur, I would have also lost Drover the Mighty because its toughness would have dropped down and would have been negative. So if I had tried for the Thunderherd turn 2, things may have gone really bad. Yeah, no, they definitely do, but I still think jamming a lot of stuff early on, stuff that costs 2, seems to be the trick. If you wanted to go with Land War Elves, of course, you know, that would also be quite fantastic, but basically the same. Land War Elves is going to die pretty much just as easily as Marauding Raptor, Drover the Mighty here, that sort of thing, but Drover the Mighty has the added benefit of being a 3/3. Certainly Land War Elves on turn 1 could accelerate out some nice plays, but ooh, they're doubling up on the removal. That is actually quite interesting. I don't feel too bad about that. My goodness, that is a lot of A lot of fire prophecies. Whew. Well, they certainly don't have too many more. Hopefully we're not seeing a sweeper here. That was rough. A counter spell of some kind. Oh. Hopefully not. Oh, there we go, Ghalta. Whew. Oh, maybe. Alright, good stuff. That is going to be pretty devastating, I would think. But also Drover the Mighty. Each Drover the Mighty helps cast Ghalta by 4. 3 for the power, and then 1 for tapping for a mana. Pretty fantastic stuff right there. Definitely quite surprising with that guy. Ripjaw as well. I mean, you saw both Drovers were 1-1. Oh, how are we going to do it? Drop the Ripjaw, drop the Ghalta, swing with one of them for a little bit. Boom, boom. The Queen, baby. You said it. You said it. Very exciting stuff. We didn't see too many creatures, though. Interesting. We're seeing the Shark Typhoon. So maybe it's more of a... Is it control and then drop something like that? Would have been nice to confirm some actual creatures from them. I don't think I'll bring in the sweepers, though. Hard to say, but it was fantastic, yes, seeing the Queen come down. I'm thinking, since they are in blue, I want to bring in Domri and Arcabolus. Probably, you know, some of the 3 amigos are going to kick the can, eat some removal. I'll cut all Otepec Huntmasters, just because there's probably a bunch of stuff that deals 2 damage, I would imagine. I mean, we saw 3 fire prophecies. That doesn't happen too often. Dealing 3 damage, which would take out any of the 3 amigos. But definitely there's stuff that deals 2, I would imagine. So usually in these situations, I do cut Otepec Huntmaster. And yeah, we'll just bring it in, switch it for still some nice ramp with Domri and... a single heroic intervention. But yes, very nice seeing the Queen. At least once tonight. You always hope to see the Queen once in a night. Very good stuff. I think they're pretty scared, though. If they drop a bunch of creatures, if we don't take this game 2, you know, we can surprise them game 3 with all those sweepers if we get a better idea of what they're all about here. But yeah, like I mentioned, and in my Dino Talks episode that I'm still cutting up, I just go over the early game with all these 2 drops and stuff. But I do mention in that overview episode about this specific instance of Marauding Raptor often dying, Otepec Huntmaster, Drover the Mighty. But again, the fact you're just jam-packing so much. Oftentimes, they run out of targeted removal. If they don't really have any, of course, we'll just explode with, you know, Otepec Huntmaster turn 2, Marauding Raptor turn 3, super duper cost reduction. If that happens, Ripjaw Raptor as well on turn 3 would be quite fantastic, but just do the best we can with the little guys, ramp, accelerate, drop some bigger guys. Pretty simple, but again, you want to adapt sometimes based on what you see. I think there's a pretty low chance that Drover survives, and 2 lands, I think we could mulligan this one. Yes, it does protect from sweepers. So heroic intervention back in Kaladesh, I think. But yeah, 1 in a green, instant speed, permanence you control. So it's not just creatures. Oh, excuse me. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Very, very fantastic stuff right there. I love it. I'm going to risk this, though. Just because I am on the draw. But, yeah. Very, very nice. Now, it doesn't protect against exile, unfortunately. That just... everything gets, well, exiled. Indestructible doesn't save you. But, it's a pretty good card. Pretty good. Hey, Heaven, how's it going? This is no treasures, unfortunately. I haven't completely moved away from treasures, but just jamming a bunch of creatures that die early on. But hoping they run out of removal. Like I mentioned, there's stuff that deals 2 damage, so voltage, surge. A little unfortunate, but that's how it goes. Hopefully Drover sticks around. We're on to the 4th land, though, which is very important stuff. He dead. Hopefully they waste a file. Prismatic, okay. Man, they're hurting. But yes, Heaven, this is a list just basically adding more sweepers. We got Anger of the Gods, the inspiration for tonight. Always angry. Indomitable creativity is nuts. It won't be too bad. We have Shifting Ceratops, which can just fly right past Torrential Gearhawk, but now that we know what this is all about, sweepers won't really do too much. Anger of the Gods or Storm's Wrath there. Basically, it's all about more sweepers for some of these aggressive decks, Rakdos Midrange, things like that, pretty much. It is nice that Shifting Ceratops can block Torrential Gearhawk into Anger the Best, Heaven. You know it. Storm's Wrath actually did quite good the previous match against Rakdos Midrange that I just had. Took out Sorin the Mirthless plus Chandra plus some of their creatures, which is some pretty fantastic value there. Voltage Surge. Not so good. Gotta turn down my headphone. I have that up too loud. The question of the day. I think we take the ping, drop Regisaur, hope for maybe a Ghalta next turn. We could get some nice surprising damage, but try and do a little bit with the token there. Hope they don't drop another Torrential Gearhawk. I think it's just kind of, is it control with the Torrential Gearhawk here? So when Torrential Gearhawk enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell will be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Nasty stuff. A 5/6 for 6 flash, but just replaying anything, whatever size. Painful. And it's Indomitable Creativity as well, so likely the only actual creature in the deck is Torrential Gearhawk. So with Indomitable Creativity, they're going to automatically grab that Torrential Gearhawk for 3 for 4. Scary stuff. Yeah. Kind of, basically cheating it out. A little bit worried about something that deals 2 damage. I'm going to take the bet. Cross the fingers they can't kill Regisaur. Hopefully. Maybe. Well, there we go. Being the only creature, they grab that and they play some nasty stuff. Not really any way to get around this, unfortunately. Ooh, Domri. Could be nice. Not going to save us, though. Yep, that's going to do it for this game. So, we know what they're all about. If we had Thrashing Brontodon, if we look back here, Torrential Gearhawk is an artifact creature, so Thrashing Brontodon potentially could have been sacrificed to destroy the Torrential Gearhawk. But now that we know it's kind of is it Indomitable Creativity, sacrifice an artifact or a creature to cheat out Torrential Gearhawk, since it is the only creature likely in the deck. And then recast something nasty from the graveyard. Kind of makes me wish I had some graveyard hate, since this deck really revolves around it via Torrential Gearhawk here. And going back to that, I did cut unlicensed Hearse, which was doing some pretty good work. Maybe I'm regretting that. That's alright though. We see what it's all about. Lots of nasty damage. I'm thinking Heroic Intervention would be quite fantastic. Pretty decent, for sure. Alright. We know what they're trying to do. We'll just try to do something a little bit faster. Definitely Drover the Mighty basically guaranteed to die. I'm thinking Heroic Intervention is going to be pretty good. One land. Not going to do it. Okay, that's better. Quite a bit better. Going to send the Queen to the bottom, unfortunately. It was nice, I know. It was nice seeing her. Hopefully she comes in this game as well. Again, it's always feels pretty good having 4 copies of Ghalta. Sending one to the bottom. Some people may only play with 1 or maybe 2 copies, and pretty low chance of seeing her again if that is the thing you send. Or if it gets discarded or answered. It's nice having backups of the Queen. Ooh, boy. Do we try it? Yeah, we'll try it. It'd be very good if they don't do something to it. Yeah, I think Ghalta overall is just maybe more useful than a tally. A tally being, well, sometimes it might not do anything. I've had quite a few instances with a tally where I've attacked and both cards I've exiled from the top of mine and my opponent's library has been a land, and then you can't cast that because it's a land, unfortunately. But just the randomness of a tally, I think it would be better served probably having 2 more Ghalta. Chances are you're casting Ghalta for cheap anyways, 2, 3, you know, if they answer it, something like that. You have a backup if it's cheap. So I think Ghalta probably more beneficial. They want to get rid of something though. I think we got to go with Domri. And get Lair of the Hydra down. Do a little bit of setup this turn, hopefully not getting countered. I think they're thinking of countering something. Or killing something.
What a glorious day for some anarchy.
They're thinking of doing something to somebody, that's for sure. Yes, hey, you know, always happy to help, definitely. And who doesn't love to see Ghalta come down? But yeah, you can imagine, say there's some scenario where you have 4 lands, all 4 sources of green. And, you know, you play your first copy of Ghalta for 2, it gets countered, killed, something like that. Bam, you know, you got that fantastic backup for that other 2 green. Pretty good. But I still love a tally. It's always nice playing cards that have a kind of randomized dice roll sort of element. More randomized, but especially a tally, because who doesn't love seeing the potential of what you can steal off the top of the opponent's library? Oh, I always love that. Well, indomitable creativity for the Gearhulk to continue to do bad stuff. Nuts. I wish they wouldn't have taken out Domri. They're likely targeting him. Shoot. That would have been very good fighting the Torrential Gearhulk with Domri, which unfortunately ain't happening. Alright, we got Shifting Ceratops. I think I may leave the 2 up for Heroic Intervention. Yeah. Gonna leave the 2 up for Heroic Intervention. See what they do next turn. I was thinking of swinging with Shifting Ceratops. Oh, I might not. I might have to use Heroic Intervention to save it, unfortunately. Nuts. That's not good. Some very fantastic stuff coming out of this, is it control deck. I'll call it as a control at this point, I think. Man, they really wanted to do that. Ouch. Painful. Well, we'll try for heroic. See what happens. Again, Shifting Ceratops could pretty easily be dead here. But at the very least, we can hopefully get one swing off with Shifting. Could potentially make a nice big layer of Hydra coming up. That would be pretty good. Although it wouldn't be big enough to threaten the Torrential Gearhulk. Oh yes, yes, definitely, absolutely. I do take requests for deck lists all the time. Put something together, yeah, for sure. I've done it quite a few times now. Yeah, I basically have anything Dino related. Definitely, so I can do that for sure. Well, Torrential Gearhulk is tapped, so I say it's also good time to swing with a 4-4. Yes, let's do the math quick. 4-4. Lair of the Hydra. Pressure. Maximum pressure. Yeah, since I do have everything, and I still have a bunch of wild cards right at the moment. Yeah, whatever deck list you have, I can probably put it together, I would think. Even some pretty crazy stuff. I might even be up for that. Tried pretty much every variation, at least once or twice. Unfortunately, I don't have trample for shifting there. Probably would have been better to make Lair of the Hydra a 3-3. Get a bit more damage through there. Yeah, would have been a little better. Hopefully seeing a Carnage Tyrant. My goodness, that would be helpful in this situation. Yeah, definitely. I don't think they... we got Ghalta? Okay. Let's see. Nah, just go Thunderherd. Pay the one. Pretend like we don't have a dinosaur in hand, you know? Perhaps pulling off something sneaky. Might as well not reveal information if we don't have to. Garruk's Uprising. 2 and a green. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield, you draw a card. Yes, yes. Oh, I know a list. Something like that. I gotcha. Yes, definitely giving trample potential of drawing a bunch of cards whenever a creature enters the battlefield, which a nice interaction. Drover the Mighty oftentimes enters as a 3-3, but if you have Domri Anarcha Bolas out, it's giving +1/+0. Technically, that makes Drover the Mighty enter the battlefield as a 4-3. You get a draw off of Garruk's Uprising because of just how state-based effects, or how the game works when it checks power for static abilities, that sort of thing. But yes, yes. Hey, well, long time no see. But yes, definitely something with Garruk's Uprising. Perhaps tomorrow, you know, I'll work on a list and showcase it. Hopefully get some nice wins, but yeah, I'll showcase it for you. I'm doing pretty good, Hopefully you're doing good as well. Well, hopefully you're doing a little bit better than me, because this is some great stuff coming out of... Is it Gearhulk? Huh. Magma Opus is the opus of the end. Our end, unfortunately, for this particular match. Some nasty stuff, you know. That's how it goes. Certainly would have liked to see Carnage Tyrant. I think that would have been the ticket, you could say. still having a good time, as always. I'm drinking coffee. Can't complain. And I'm playing Dinos. Life is good. And got a roof over my head. Food on the table. Can't complain. Hey, that's good, relaxing. Probably should get a more comfortable chair. Maybe I'll take a picture and post it after this. Do a little community post. It's pretty comfy, but I guess I've been blessed with good joints, because certainly I could see myself getting sore, especially when I sit for long periods. Definitely when I did my mega streams and my ultimate stream for 11 hours. My goodness, that I did get a little sore when I did that. Ouch. Yeah, I could probably get a better chair. Would be nice to lie in bed and play this, but yeah. We can make this work, I think. Definitely we got the Huntmaster. Hopefully we're drawing a third land by turn 3, but if it doesn't happen, we could still go Topiary Stomper for... Ooh, hey, there we go. Had to be Rockfall Vale turn 1 just because we need a source of red for turn 2. Ooh, hey, oh, Greasefang. I'm missing that graveyard hate tonight. This is Greasefang, definitely. Gotta be Greasefang. Mardu, black, red, and white. I don't see how it would be anything other than Mardu Greasefang. Cheating out a big vehicle from the graveyard. But we will get Regisaur Alpha next turn off of this fantastic stable ramp from Topiary Stomper. Hopefully followed by Carnage Tyrant, which it's nice seeing 2 copies here. Did they get a... No, they haven't got much in the graveyard. Oh, yep, we gotta take the ping, go with Regisaur, and smoke them, hopefully. You slept... Hey, I think a lot of people slept on it. I kind of did sleep on Topiary as well for a little bit there. Oh, lovely, lovely addition, that stable ramp. It does the trick. Oh man, we're just gonna slam them. I think we might have him here. Carnage Tyrant, second one next turn. Ooh, ouch. Ouch. That's the good stuff. The power of Regisaur Alpha, being able to swing with that Carnage Tyrant the turn it comes down. Just, you talk about curving out, playing, using all your available mana each turn, but Regisaur Alpha turns that up to 11, I think, just giving haste, being able to attack with the Carnage there. Of course, I could have played Ghalta for 2 at that point, but we don't really have any graveyard hate stuff, unfortunately. I am still expecting it is Mardu Greasefang. Could be good Anger of the Gods, killing stuff. Greasefang if they do. Storm's Wrath. No, we should bring in Storm's Wrath. So the big vehicle, for anybody that doesn't know that they play, Parhelion 2. It's a 5/5 artifact. All vehicles are artifacts, but it makes 2 4/4 angel tokens. So Storm's Wrath actually would be quite nice for taking out both those tokens, dealing 4 damage. I think that would actually be pretty good. We're going to bring that in for sure. But we got to cut somebody. Huntmaster. We saw that they had the Fatal Push. Likely they have stuff that also deals damage. 2 damage, 3 damage. So I think Huntmaster would be good to make some space for Storm's Wrath here. Alright. Oh yes, Topiary. Lovely, lovely stuff. I still think Topiary pairs quite nicely with Thunderherd Migration, just to, well, speaking of, just because it cares about having 7 lands. Thunderherd again is stable ramp and helps you get closer to those 7 lands so you can start using it. But at the very least, maybe you play Marauding Raptor turn 2, Topiary Stomper turn 3, Perhaps you get a swing with Marauding Raptor, do 2 extra damage. So technically, Topiary Stomper for 2 green gets you a basic land and 2 damage to the opponent. That, I mean, 2 green for a basic land is already quite good, but 2 green plus 2 damage to an opponent, amazing value right there, I think. But this, too risky, too risky. Oh, that's better. Yeah. Yeah, we'll send Ghalta to the bottom. I like that. We've got a pretty good chance to get that 4th land, I would think. Drover the Mighty might die, unfortunately, but yeah, I've just loved Topiary. I think I pretty much... Oh, hey, they milled 4 lands. That's good. They didn't get Parhelion 2 or something nasty in the graveyard. That was a good mill from Stitcher Supplier. Which now that I'm thinking, Anger of the Gods might have been good. Possibly. We'll just never block Stitcher Supplier though, and try to never give them more mill. Ranging Raptors instead of Thunderherd, yeah, definitely I could see that being good. Yeah, definitely the guaranteed land from Thunderherd I think is quite valuable, for sure. Ranging Raptors could certainly be quite clunky. Well, you know, we'll go with the land next turn. Definitely smoking what we can with one of the Storm's Wrath. Hopefully they maybe... Oh, they got Greasefang. They got the Greasefang and... oh, they don't have Greasefang. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Ooh, ah. I think we still have to go Storm's Wrath, though. We're going to try it. I just didn't want to take 5 damage next turn. Can't stay away. That could be our undoing. Ooh, yes it is. I was a little bit worried about that. Yep. I mean, it's not exactly the end of the world. We're not dead. You know? Like I mentioned, Storm's Wrath taking out those angel tokens, that hopefully is helpful. Crossing my fingers. Stomp from Bone Crusher Giant, you know, we could still just be simply dead, unfortunately. Yeah, the potential of Ranging Raptors to draw multiple or get multiple lands certainly is quite enticing for sure. I think we're still probably dead though. Down to 1, that's very scary. Especially if they get a Greasefang here. Oh boy. Ooh. This is tense. Luckily they can't tap Mirror Breaker. At least the turn it comes into play here. That could be problematic. Ooh, the Topiary. I wish that guy had haste. We'll just swing with both. Come on, Carnage boys, you got it. You got it. You said it. They do have to block with 1 for sure. But oh, down to 1. 1 to 1. 1 to 1. 1 to 1. Yikes! Oh, the fatal push and the dead. The dead. Oof. Oh man, if they didn't have that fatal push, my goodness. That would have been sweet. I'm thinking of cutting... yeah, let's cut Drover the Mighty. Bringing those Anger of the Gods. Oh, man, that was tense. I know I don't normally get excited. Doesn't seem like I'm excited, but... yeah, hey, you know, fatal push. It happens. I think we're all probably used to Fatal Push at this point. I would like to keep this hand if there was 2 lands here. But no, too risky. Also not so good. Okay, that's going to be it. Yeah. Going to have to be shifting in Ghalta, definitely. But yeah, oh man, that was pretty sweet. If we had pulled off the win there, going down to 1-1, man, those games. But yeah, I guess as long as you can come to terms with Fatal Push, all the fantastic cheap removal on our early creatures, as long as you know you're okay with that. I mean, no one's really okay with that, but yeah, it's not so bad. I'll stick with the source of green. Definitely I got this mountain, so we're going to get our second source of red for Anger of the Gods next turn. You know what, let's continue the ramping with Topiary Stomper. I wouldn't have wanted to block Stitcher Supplier anyways if I had gone Shifting Ceratops, and I want a little bit more value from Anger of the Gods. Ooh, okay, yep, let's go Ripjaw. I like that. Hopefully getting that sweet, sweet card draw. Play a creature you know you wanna. Oh, they don't. Okay, we'll just go shifting. Now the question is hasty shifting, trample. Let's go aggressive. They don't have anything nasty in the graveyard yet. I'm gonna take my chances. If they had Parhelion 2 in the graveyard, I think I may not have risked attacking with shifting, but this is quite a bit of nice damage here. Cross the fingers, nothing bad in these. Well, it's not too bad. It's not the best, but it's okay. Kind of sucks. Also sucks. No Grease Fang. Ooh, I jinxed myself. Sky Saw. Ouch. Comes into play, then you accrue it, and it also does 3 damage to finish off Topiary there. Well. Do I want to smoke Grease Fang? I think I want to smoke Grease Fang. Hard to say. I think it would probably be Rakdos, Midrange, red and black, just Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, kill lots of creatures, play a lot of creatures that are at 3 toughness or less, so Anger of the Gods certainly does the trick, but probably something Rakdos related at the very moment. Yeah, I would say that. Hopefully that's helping, getting rid of Grease Fang there. So an Anger. Good. Oh, hey, we got the Carnage. Gonna slam him with Marauding. Just Blood Tithe Harvester likely was going to sacrifice and take the Marauding anyways. Take it out now. And hope Carnage Tyrant can finish him off. No more Grease Fang. Ooh. Okay. It's down to the wire, now or never. They need Parhelion 2 in the graveyard plus Grease Fang to win. Huh? Maybe. Oh boy. Do we do it? Come on, Carnage. It might not be so bad. Still not too good. Hey, Thunderherd. So they got the Grease Fang plus the thing to kill Carnage Tyrant. Do I want to do that? I don't know. That's a toughie. I think I want to take that chance. Let's get rid of Grease Fang plus the token. Take him down to be potentially killed with Regisaur Alpha, but ooh, it's close. Anger of the Gods next turn. Storm's Wrath. That'd be nice. Oh, the Regisaur. Okay. Okay. Probably going Sky Sovereign. Pressure them with the token. They have to block with either Blood Tithe or Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Both. Yeah, definitely. Take out Kiki Jiki. Ooh. Intense. Got things clear, yes. Soarin'. See.
Your blood is mine.
Oh, Soarin', Grease Fang, and then Sky Sovereign to kill Regisaur. Yeah, nuts. Nuts. Ouch. It might not be over. Especially if we get Anger of the Gods next turn. That would be helpful. That is not anger, and that is, unfortunately, a loss. Definitely anyone's game. That was quite fantastic. I had a good time there, for sure. Always lovely, tense. At the very least, you see different potential ways around things. Sometimes nothing much you can do, but I think tonight, especially with Rakdos and seeing Grease Fang again. I haven't actually faced Grease Fang in quite some time, probably about a week or so, maybe. Something like that. But yeah, you know, maybe good to always pack some graveyard hate. Hard to say, though. Of course, you want as big a sample size as possible whenever making any changes, like adding in 8 sweepers, but 20 lands. I know 20 lands still quite crazy. I'm still going on the thought that having so much stuff that costs 2, Topiary Stomper as well, also ramping. I'm still trying this out, the 20 land thing. Want to try it out as much as possible to get the best feel for it. I mean, bam, right here, this looks quite fantastic. Super rampy. But yeah, still 20 lands. I mean, you see sometimes we still get flooded with 20, so I thought I'll keep it with 20 for now. It's looking like Golgari, maybe fight rigging. Ugh, nuts. Okay, pretty good. Thunderherd Migration would lead to Huntmaster plus Topiary next turn. If I go Huntmaster, it would only be Topiary. Let's go Thunderherd. Yeah, I like Huntmaster plus Topiary. Luckily, they didn't get that turn 3 fight rigging. Whew. Oh, they're not getting a whole lot of stuff. Interesting. Huh. They're not killing anything. This is feeling pretty good. Ooh, we could Could be seeing the queen next turn. Actually, we should be. We're not. Golgari, good stuff, I guess it's called. Yeah, definitely still Regisaur Alpha. You can cross your fingers it sticks around. Hasty Ghalta next turn. But yeah, I think this is kind of just yeah, Golgari good stuff. Slam some of the best stuff in these particular colors. But yeah, Topiary, Ghalta, you gotta love it. Actually, Topiary land, swing with both, Ghalta, massive damage, smoke 'em. You gotta love 2 green, 12/12, trample, haste. That right there, I think, is a pretty good tick in the Ghalta. Yeah. Ooh. Nasty stuff, but we saw what they're all about. Golgari, good creatures. Golgari rock, I believe some people call it. I could see bringing in a sweeper, at least Anger of the Gods. They got Llanowar Elves, Ravenous Chupacabra tokens. Yes, I think it could be better than Treasures. It certainly feels often enough leaning everything towards Dinos, leveraging Regisaur Alpha with a bunch of other Dinos and Ghalta. All in on Dinos, basically. Seems to do the trick often enough. I mean, you saw it right there. That was fantastic. The Topiaries. I mean, we had the Thunderherd to help eventually get us to that 7th land, swinging with both of them. Vigilance on a Dino is very fantastic, but a little bit off track. I think Anger of the Gods is going to do good. Maybe Domri. Nah, just Anger. Huntmaster, it was nice. We got to make space somewhere. I do like taking out at least one of the 3 amigos whenever I do bring in a sweeper, just because all of them do die to that sweeper. Seems like a pretty good place to remove and make space for that sort of thing. Ooh, hey, I like this. Definitely marauding. Hopefully Topiary Stomper for turn 3 there. But they did mulligan once. That's good. Makes me feel pretty positive. Mulligan twice. Gilded Goose. Hopefully we're not seeing that turn 2 fight rigging. Cross the fingers. Fight rigging. Hey, that's our Dino. Hold up, buddy. Well, let's hope they don't go fight rigging coming up here, but I think that might be happening. The Great Hench, that is also a very good thing to play, yes. It is nasty damage, unfortunately. But I think there's a good chance we will get to see the Queen. Yeah, gotta be Topiary. I was hoping to get to a 3rd land. Could go Marauding plus Topiary. That would have been a lot of nice acceleration for sure, but we'll take advantage, do some damage, and hope they don't get that fight rigging, which I expect. Another Gilded Goose. Ooh. Next turn, we may be seeing Ghalta off of Marauding Raptor there. That should be quite helpful. Here goes nothing. Oh, okay. Options. Yeah, let's go Topiary for 2. Then, we won't have 2 Marauding Raptors out, which would kill Regisaur Alpha plus the token. Yeah. Topiary for 2. And get our total power to 10 or more. At least to 10. And just drop the Queen. gotta do the trick. Now that's something that can block a rotting Regisaur. My goodness. Hopefully they don't just barf a bunch of creatures. Ooh, I think we might have them. Liking our chances. Oh, yep. Regisaur Alpha, good stuff. Oh, oh, ooh, 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 ooh. I'll go back and show you, Heaven. So they had Takenuma, Abandoned Mire. Channel for 4, you can discard it, mill 3 cards, and then return a creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. Yes, oh, nice GG, for sure. They didn't have any creature in their graveyard. They milled 3 cards, and the 3 cards that were milled were 3 lands, unfortunately, so they're not getting a creature back. It was a last-ditch effort to hopefully mill something they could use into the graveyard, get it into their hand, play it, draw a card from playing a creature with the Great Henge and kind of chain that off from there. Yes, excellent work. Oh, that was good. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, the Takenuma there, a last-ditch effort from them. Taking them down in 2, that felt good. Everything just absolutely came together. Definitely it was nice not going the second Marauding Raptor to get to 10 power. Otherwise, like I mentioned, Regisaur Alpha and the token would have died, and just playing it, having them see it, they knew it was just, it was over. It was over. Man, that was good. Ooh, lots of Ghaltas. Chances are when it lands, they're going to kill it. They're going to do something to get rid of it. So, you know, like you mentioned, you have 2 copies, up it to 4. 3 or 4. Since it's cheap, it's good, I think. All right. Wow, that was fantastic. Oh, I could open up a couple packs here. No, I'm gonna save my gold for later on. But yes, Heaven, JDX, Pterosaurus, Blue Bear, Draco, everybody else watching right now or later on. Wow, that was quite fantastic. I was kind of sad missing the treasures, but we got it done. More misses than hits, unfortunately, but you see the potential. Some nights, you know, you win more or you lose more than you win. But there's always room for improvement with anything. In life, in Dinos, in Magic. I had a fantastic time chatting with you guys as always. There is room for improvement. Hopefully you have a good night, a good morning, whenever it is you are watching, if it is right now or later on. I'll see you next time. Yes. Thank you.